until half-time, and then it was a very uncompetitive game thereafter.
When he said gap, I think it means cavern. Yeah. It just means this huge, I just can't believe the difference between these two sides, the quality, the work rate, everything about the game was just City. They were outstanding. I know United were terrible, but I watch City out of possession and I go, that's how you defend, that's how you work hard.
Yeah. I don't think we should be surprised. But Man United at the moment...
It's a derby. You expect more from a derby.
But Man United at the moment, they mess with your brain. Because you try and, before the game, it's a Manchester derby, and you're thinking, surely United have got to be competitive in this. Yeah. Surely Ralph Rangnick has got to play the best players.
Because they are always competitive at the Etihad. They tend to win at the Etihad, so yeah.
But I've no idea where Ralph Rangnick come up with the idea of 4-4-2 and Bruno and Paul Pogba as a front two. And that's the tactical side of it. That's the personnel. Then you get into the game, and the first half, like you said, was quite competitive, and the second half, it was just ridiculous. But I don't know why Man United messed with your brain in terms of the day before, leading up to the game, you think, it's a Manchester derby. Man United have got good results against Man City.
That's how it was.
I can remember the game when they beat them 2-0. I remember Dan James on the right-hand side. I remember Martial playing through the middle. I remember Rashford and the speed on the counter. And then your normal football brain kicks back in and goes... They've got no chance. No. They've got no chance. City are miles ahead.
You've got, in a second, a lot of rather devastating critique and analysis in that iPad of yours.
Yes.
Which we will look at after we've heard from Kevin De Bruyne in more detail. But he caught up with Dion last Friday for a chat.
The standard and the way that the people think over here is like whatever competition we play, we want to win. It's hard because sometimes you see other players, they have a week off, they have a holiday or whatever. But in the end of the year, if you win a trophy or one or two, it makes it much more enjoyable. And even sometimes if you don't make it, at least, if you go to all the latter stages, then you know what you did as a team, even if you don't win anything, is still sometimes a good job. And there's a lot of good football teams, so to be part of always or a lot of times fighting for these trophies shows the intention and how well we do as a team.
Do you have a personal favourite? Which one would you like again, or for the first time, or which one?
For me, it's always the league and then the Champions League.
Okay, in that order?
In that order.
And why that mindset?
Because the league gives you the consistency you need as a player to do it all the time. The Champions League, sometimes it feels like you need to go to periods where you have very good form, and if you are good on the day, it's important. But that obviously, in a way, I want the Champions League a little bit more because I've not won it yet. But in the end, either or both, it's good.
So when the red trainers met the sliders,
they just ended up on my feet. I don't know how it happened.
I played for Man United. They're red. Yeah.
Sorry about that. They let me in though. They let me in.
What sort of man? I mean, he's a magnificent footballer. What sort of man were you talking to?
You know what? It was. I've said this a couple of times now since the interview. He interviewed like he plays the game. Very honest. Very. Confident, I'm going to give you this answer because that's what I really believe, and I know that I can achieve what I'm telling you. And he plays the game in the same way. Yeah. A lot of people. I was told to ask a few questions, but I had to ask, how do you play certain passes? And he just said to me, Dion, that's my game. That's why they brought me here for. They brought me to play those passes. My teammates know what I'm going to do. That's how it works all the time. I'm thinking, gosh, I'd love to play for you.
Oh, brilliant. Now, he doesn't need any more help because he's so good, but you're about to show just how much help he was given by Manchester United in the goals he scored in the first half.
This is the first goal, and I'll play this in real time because we've got to credit Man City. When we're going to do this analysis, we've got to credit the goals and the movement and the skill of Man City because they deserve it, and they deserve huge amount of respect and admiration for the way they play. And De Bruyne, as Dion said, he's a confident, silky, hard-working player, and he gets the rewards because he puts the miles in, even when he's injured. Now you look at it from a Man United point of view, and Man City, you've got them on an overload on that sort of left-hand side. But if I was to say that Man City would put a cross in from there, Bernardo Silva would dig a cross from there and find Kevin De Bruyne, I would say, Dion, that's impossible.
Not with 3 Man United players
Can't happen.
around him. You wouldn't let him out, would you?
It can't happen. So you couldn't, if you're Victor Lindelof, if you're McTominay, you can't allow him to go on his left foot, Bernardo Silva, because that's his strong foot. So at some point you might have to say, right, we might sort of get back in position, or we might allow him to go back the way and find a backwards pass. Then Kevin De Bruyne is completely unmarked in the 18-yard box. I feel a little bit for Harry Maguire because he's got a little bit of criticism, or a lot of criticism this weekend. He actually, for a centre-back, is in a good position there.
Yeah,
because what Harry Maguire is expecting or thinking, that ball's going to come in here and I'm in a good position. Tellez' position and his body language is awful. He's got his back to play. He's probably thinking Riyad Mahrez behind me, so he doesn't go to De Bruyne. The guilty one in this scenario, in my opinion, Dion, is Sancho. Sancho does not recognise the danger that De Bruyne is standing in so much space.
Shouldn't Tellez be shouting at Sancho then?
Well, he is. I think he's.
Is he?
Well, Maguire, at his peripheral vision, is saying, who's got De Bruyne? And Tellez is probably saying to Sancho, can you mark him? Now, you've got a decision to make if you're Tellez. What you can do, you can take it upon yourself instead of pointing. You can mark him.
Yeah.
And I would suggest this is the lesser of two evils from that position.
Yes. Yeah.
You've got enough time if that ball gets, say, swung towards the far post.
It's got a long way to travel for you to shuffle over,
then you can sort of get there.
Yeah.
So the communication between Tellez and Jadon Sancho is not great.
Yeah.
But as a midfield player, I would be looking at Kevin De Bruyne if I'm Jadon Sancho, thinking, I am going to mark him.
Who's
I've
the
got to
danger?
mark
That's
him.
where you start, don't you, to defender? When you're in a defensive position, who is the danger? De Bruyne is the danger. Somebody get him.
I don't know. Kevin, how is he? I don't understand how he's found that kind of space. And then he's lunging. You know, it's not Tellez's problem really, but he tries to correct it. I mean, look at the players. Look at the players. Look at the red shirts in the box.
Look at your three men. Look at your 3 men not tracking back, and that was a theme. This is a theme of what happened for Man United. Second goal. Now this can happen. Anthony Elanga's trying to play it from the back. They're squeezed in. They're trying to find a pass, and actually this can happen to the best defenders in the world. Victor Lindelof can get done. That's just a brilliant bit of skill. And when I take it back, it's one of them, Dion, where if you're Victor Lindelof, you are committed to winning that ball. You're all in.
Yeah.
Remember Gascoigne's goal against Scotland, Colin Hendry. You're all in to win the ball. So
there's no way back, is there?
There's no way back, but you're all in to win it. Now, the guilty parties again are these guys. You know, you've got midfield players that are not even tracking back. I'm going to take that back a second or two. So, Fred and Victor Lindelof, Dion, are standing in there. Lindelof's just been done, so you expect a sprint from Lindelof. And I would expect Fred to look at Kevin De Bruyne, who's half a yard away from him. I'll run this in slow motion. Watch the lack of reaction from Fred and Lindelof. De Bruyne wanders. He's not even sprinting. Right? The referee's gone past
and
Fred.
And Sancho on the edge of the box as well, again.
The referee's gone past Fred.
Yeah. Never a good sign.
Look at Lindelof. Right, shall I run? Shall I run? No, I'm going to stand still. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll run. No, I won't. It's incredible, the lack of effort and the lack of how many Man United players do not smell any sort of danger. Get back in and defend.
But the thing about it is as well, though, is the lack of communication between the players. That is it. Nobody seems to want to help each other. They're all on the floor. They're diving about like they don't know how to defend. They obviously don't, judging by this. But they've got to have some kind of... Look at all the 3 players there. Communicate. Fred, tell Lindelof he's coming. Speak to each other. Man on. Turn your shoulders. Anything. But they don't do anything
Sancho's actually looking at De Bruyne, isn't he?
Yeah.
Sancho's actually looking at De Bruyne.
Yeah,
he's just scored a great goal, Sancho. But
and then why on earth, now that De Gea has pulled off a fantastic save, why on earth, Dion, is Harry Maguire... Why is Harry Maguire not cleaning that? And by the way, that is an easy pass. It's a 2-yard pass. Normally, you'd volley that into the top row.
Yeah.
You'd smash it into the top row, but you can just tap it out of play.
So what makes him do?
I have no idea, Dion, how that ball can go underneath his legs.
He lets it go purposely.
I've got no idea. And then the reaction on the edge of the box, or the lack of. Fred's not even in the picture, by the way. He's not even got anywhere near the referee. And Lindelof, look at Lindelof. Jadon Sancho again. There's no one smelling danger. The only people that are thinking we can score here, the ball's going to land to us, is the Man City players.
And you know what, the hardest thing, the hardest watch here is all these red shirts are going, oh no. Nobody's pointing the finger at each other.
No.
Nobody's saying you should have done this, you should have done that. Maguire, as the captain, should be pointing at his midfield players, saying, give us a hand. Help us out, we're getting overrun. And there's no communication. That's the big problem for United.
So that's half-time 2-1.
Yeah.
We go to 3-1, it's almost even more extraordinary, isn't it? Because every single Manchester United outfield player is in shot and all but actually in the box.
This one, for a coach and a player, is the most simple one to fix. And how Man United have not worked on this, Dion, I will never know. We've done enough sessions on either the morning of the game or the day before. And the manager says to the goalkeeper, how do you want your players? Where do you want them? Do you want them zonal? Do you want them lined up? What do you want from a corner? Do you want 2v1? Where do you want Maguire? So Maguire's saying, I'll be free, I'll be the man that goes to attack the ball. Where they've forgot Riyad Mahrez.
Is that a mixture of, is that a hybrid of zonal and man-to-man there?
Yes, that is.
Yeah, so you've got a bit of a marking situation going on. You've got marking situations going. Then you've got little bits of sort of zonal.
Yeah, at the far post.
Which is Maguire, you attack a ball that's in there.
Yeah, we've all been in that position, Dion, where the manager says to a player, like Virgil van Dijk for Liverpool, you're our best header. Yeah. When the ball gets into your area, you go and clean it out. Yeah. Now, where they've got it spectacularly wrong here is Man United. This is such an easy fix. If you're Maguire, you should be stepping onto a Man City player, and that's...
is that Laporte, I think?
Rodri or Diaz?
No. So, Jesse Lingard.
Jesse
Lingard. Excuse me. So, Jesse Lingard then, once Maguire comes into that position, Jesse Lingard is the player that walks on to Riyad Mahrez.
So, more communication, basically, is what you're saying, from Maguire?
No, because this doesn't need communication. This should be fixed before the corner's even coming in.
In that situation,
days before.
In that situation, though, Don, the captain should see that. Maguire should see that.
Yes.
He should see it. And if it's not been done on the training ground, he still should see it.
But our argument is, Dion,
go and do it.
Days before, this should be fixed. So Maguire should be saying, right, if this happens, I'm going to go and step onto Man City player.
You push
Jesse, you go and get on the edge of the box.
But it runs to something deeper than that. Is even if it's, for whatever reason, not fixed on the training ground, you're standing there as the captain, you go... He's unmarked. You go there. I'm going here. You played with Gareth Southgate.
But that's why they're not thinking. That's why they're not thinking. So
they'd have done that.
So Harry Maguire's being told, right, you are the spare man, go and head the ball. They're not thinking.
No.
They're not thinking, do you know what, I might abandon that on this occasion because Riyad Mahrez is free. Yeah. And Jesse Lingard, you go and mark him. I'll go and mark Rodri or Laporte. Yeah. I'll go and mark their best header of the ball.
Yeah.
It's just like it's robotic.
Yeah.
You've been told to do this. This is what I'm going to do. No one's thinking outside the box.
And what happens as well in that situation, when the ball has found its way over the top of you all and it's going towards the far post, and you can get anywhere near it, you put your body on the line. You fly into that challenge. You can be 2 or 3 yards off. You do whatever it takes.
Make yourself big, yeah.
The 3 of them are like this. What are you supposed to do? Make yourself big, make a tackle.
I've been told to stand here, so I will stand here. Someone's unmarked there. That's okay. I've been told to stand here.
It won't be my fault because I'm standing
There's no responsibility. No responsibility at all.
And then talk me through the 4th goal, Dion, because this is, again, bizarre to watch from Scott McTominay, who's been really good this season.
Yeah.
He starts moaning to David De Gea as the ball gets played back. Look, he's moaning. He's just about to moan at De Gea. I don't really know what he expects from De Gea there. Look, he has a little moan.
McTominay didn't want it back, so he hadn't made himself available.
He's not made it.
I don't quite know what De Gea's supposed to do.
So he's still moaning, so he's forgot about...
De Gea's down.
De Gea's down. He's forgot about Bernardo Silva. Fred's unlucky. He's got a 2v1 against. They're trying to judge a ball out the sky. That can happen. They get a bit of luck as it comes off Rodri's face. But there's no sort of reaction after that. Once it goes back into this sort of area... They're all trying to step up. They're confused. Tellers is in a bad position. Maguire square on. Scott McTominay, Dion, makes no attempt. You wanted to say...
Look how close he gets.
Can't you win the ball there? Can't you slide?
But he stays with him for a good 2 seconds and then he goes...
slide in?
Do something.
You want one of those, don't you?
Yeah, just
sweep your left leg across, try and get the ball.
Get contact with him, put him off.
Take the ball.
Do something.
Right, sounds brutal. Take the ball. If you don't get the ball, take the man.
Take the man. Take a yellow card, get back.
Right, stop, you get back in.
If you watch how close he gets, we're on slow, Don. You see how close he gets?
He just runs alongside him.
He runs alongside him. Look, there's nothing at all, and then he stops. Everybody stops trying then. Everybody stops running.
Why doesn't Tellez do 5 yards of hard running? And I say that loosely. 5 yards of hard running to stop Mahrez.
Yeah. What can't you do, Don, if there's no pressure on the ball? Boogs.
You can't play offside.
You can't play offside.
Can't step up.
And these are as basic as it comes. You're trying to play an offside line with no pressure on the ball.
And the first thing Harry Maguire does, he looks to the offside.
Yeah. Which he thought he'd got, but actually it was a good VAR. He was just on.
Look, Scott here. There he is.
Look at the line. Look at the shape of the line. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
You know what? We're going down United's throat today because it is that bad. And it is under 11s, under 12s, under 13s kind of defending that they will have taken out of them before they get to their under 15s, under 16s. This is Manchester United first team in a derby. And they are all internationals. And those mistakes are unforgivable.
And the best part of this is, I'm just going to do some analysis on Man City at 3-1. And you talk about Man United not defending properly and not putting the hard yards in and not grafting and not showing intensity and all the words you want to use.
But look where the City players are first, eh? That's where they are. They're all in the same place as the Man United players. They're all there. They're all trying to get involved.
Free kick comes in. So you defend a free kick if you're Man United, and Man City are going forward. Watch now the intensity from the Man City players. This I find incredible from Man City's point of view. Right? How many players, Mark, are trying to squeeze the ball? Look at them, and that's in slow motion. I'm doing them a disservice because they were all sprinting at very
there's
top speed.
Two or three trying to squeeze it, and there's another 5 sprinting back.
Get back.
Yeah.
It's just...
Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant.
It's the intensity.
They're switched on, aren't they? There's danger. There's a counter-attack.
It's the intensity of this boys.
Yeah.
John Stones going past the referee.
Yeah.
3 players trying to win the ball back. Phil Foden, who was magnificent in the game, wants to be the man that nicks the ball away and gets it back. Then you recover possession. That, in a nutshell, is the difference.
They've just swarmed that side of the pitch, haven't they?
That, in a nutshell, is the difference between the two sides.
It is. And there's an element of... That is coaching, but that's an element of I really want to work hard.
Yes.
I really want to earn the right to win this game. There's a little bit of fear because the manager's told me to do this, so I've got to do it.
I've got to earn the right to stay in the team.
So there's a little bit of everything there.
Yeah.
And that's why City and Liverpool are way ahead of anybody else at the moment. Because they do all that stuff better than anybody else. And when they got the ball back, they are better than anybody else.